Hey guys, so I thought I'd do this today as an update to what I believe God is saying prophetically for our season right now. Um, we know what's happened with the US election at the moment, and even though I'm Australian, I believe the Lord is saying what is happening in America right now, is vital, and really we're in a turning point season where a lot is at stake. Recently, the Lord spoke to me the two words game theory. And game theory is a theory which says that, um, say, if you had two people playing chess, if they both had a strategy about how to win and they had moves in their mind and a playbook for how they were going to win the game, they would also try and anticipate their opponent's move. And so, based off of their own strategy and anticipating the opponent's move, they would have a strategy to win the game. Um, you know, in America right now, we know that there is incredible division, maybe more division, or not more division, but division that's reminiscent of revolution and revolutionary spirits that existed at the time of the Civil War in the US. And it's a division as well that's playing itself out, it seems, around the world to varying degrees. And, at the moment, people are, whether it's in the church or in the world, and especially in politics, putting themselves in one of two camps and saying, I am either, for Donald Trump or for Joe Biden. I am either Republican or Democrat. And either side is claiming that, God is only on one side. And so what I believe God was speaking to me through game theory is that right now what's happening with Joe Biden and Donald Trump is playing itself out like a game. But there is a real danger that both sides are playing a strategy that is going to result in an unintended consequence. In game theory, both sides will make moves, but then because of the strategies of both sides and anticipating the other's moves, the result will play out in a way that neither expect. And guys, I believe recently God was saying what is playing out in America now will play itself out in a way that most people do not expect. And this is causing great division. Another word God gave me recently, okay, because God will give me like words of knowledge, and usually I'll know it's a word of knowledge because it's a word I don't even know. I'll have to look up in the dictionary, go online to see what it means. I'm an English teacher, and yet God will give me words that I don't even know the meaning of off the top of my head. Sometimes they're words I recognize, but God confirms that they're words from Him by the fact that I don't know them off the top of my head. I've got to look them up. And another word He gave me recently was malfeasance. And malfeasance is wrongdoing by an elected official. And at the moment, a case could be made that perhaps wrongdoing is going on both sides of the political divide in the US right now, and even amongst the people of the US and the people of the world. Looking at the election, Democrats would say Republicans are, basically making completely fraudulent claims of voter fraud, and there's nothing to it at all. And then the other side would say, well, Republicans would say, look, fraud has gone on. There's been great deceit, and it's enough to overthrow this election. And Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, recently said that, when asked, will you help with a smooth transition? He said, there will be a smooth transition to a second Trump government, a second 4-year term. When Joe Biden by and large has been accepted as the winner is the president-elect. The margin looks very significant, 290, I think, electoral votes or something like that, to 213 for Donald Trump. And that's a basically someone just under the vice president in terms of credibility to the world, representing America to the world, that has said, look, whether it's a joke or not, it doesn't matter, to his support base, or to Trump's support base, and to many, if it's coming from someone like that, it seems like there's a plan of sedition in play. And that Trump will not accept the new term, and or he will not accept being kicked out of office. And even if he did, then his fan base would create chaos in the US. On the other side, there are reports of voter fraud. Most seem to be mostly unsubstantiated, unverifiable. Most seem to be at the scale at the moment anyway of the kind of voter fraud that has gone on in every US election. And it's playing itself out in the courts where it should. If there's evidence for it, then it should go to court. But at the moment, there is a great division going on, guys, where not only politically, but the church and the people in America are dividing themselves in a way that is serious. And, not long ago, God gave me two dreams. One was in preparation for going back to America, because I'm in Australia right now, but I believe God will have me back in America soon. And in the dream it said, in preparation for going back to the US, I was told to get a gun. Okay. Now, it's not someone that personally likes guns. In Australia, we don't have a culture of guns or a need of them by and large. But the message in that was clear. God saying a time of, at the very least, civil unrest, most likely civil war, is coming to the US. In another dream, I saw loads of, or a news reporter in Australia report how masses of guns were being brought up, and they were shown to me in the dream like Civil War guns. And so, guys, what I want to say in this video, I'm going to wrap this up shortly, but what I wanted to say is be aware of division right now. Both sides in politics and both sides who align with either one, and it sees you're either for one or for the other, and there's no middle ground anymore, which is as serious as anything else. And no matter how right you feel you are, whether you're Democrat or Republican, and whatever camp you'd associate yourself with, guys, now it's coming to the point where there is no middle ground, and there is a war going on, an ideological war, and a drawing of battle lines ideologically at the moment, that God is warning that if people do not, and Americans and this world does not pursue peace with each other, guys, because we're, especially, let's just say as Christians, we are called to pursue peace. The Bible says, pursue peace with all men, without which no one will see the Lord. But men are not pursuing peace in this season, guys, especially now where a lot is at stake. And I believe, from what God has shown me, a dream a few weeks ago where I was like, Lord, where is the US right now? And I had a dream of seeing a white pillar like you'd see at the front of the courthouse, Supreme Court in America, a tall white pillar, severely eaten away at, severely corroded to the point of collapse. And then I saw a phone and it had the numbers 9/11. At the time, I didn't really, I knew the Lord was saying, look, America is still standing, there's still hope, but she's in an emergency state and she's close to collapse. At the time I saw 9/11, I didn't fully understand what that could mean, apart from what I just said. But now, guys, I believe it's very possible that God was speaking about this month. We know what's happened with the election. We know what has started. Pastor Dana Coverstone has seen, similarly, many others have as well, that this season, November, December onwards, is crucial. And guys, the Bible says that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. And America right now is unbelievably divided. And no matter what side you're on, and maybe, your side is Democrat or Republican, maybe you are completely right. God bless you. And fantastic. But guys, if both sides, let's even say both sides were right, or they had an element of being right and wrong, and yet go to war with one another, and it starts off as an ideological war, inevitably it's going to end in actual fighting, actual civil unrest, actual civil war. There's a video that was posted, I think, a day or two after the US election this month that showed a black militia an African American militia in America, and a white militia as well, in like formations, ready to seemingly declare war on each other. Guys, that is not the heart of God. It is not the heart of God to come against our fellow men and women. It is not the heart of God to be divided or to think we are so righteous and on the side of God that we will now draw lines in the sand against our brothers and sisters. And God is warning now, guys, that America is in danger of civil unrest, of civil uprisings, and civil war. If we don't think it can happen, then we do not know ourselves, and we do not know humanity without God. My prayer, guys, is that obviously it will not happen. We hope all things, believe all things. That's what love does. It hopes the best. It prays for the best. It doesn't surrender in the sense that it doesn't say, you know what, there's so much hatred out there and there's so much that's divided and wrong. I am just going to lay down the commands of God to pursue peace and love and reconciliation and understanding and empathy. I'm going to lay those things aside and I'm going to take up arms. I am going to be a person of rage and of division. And guys, at the moment, that's what is happening in a big way in the US and even around the world to certain extents, maybe lesser extents. But this is a dangerous time. And so God is saying, guys, that what is happening now with Joe Biden, with Trump, this is a precarious time, and the US is standing, and but it's close to collapse. And this month, what has happened this month, okay, the division that is going on, forget even your right or wrong policy, okay, that has its place, but the division is the thing that is number one at the moment, eating the foundation of America, rotting the core of its democracy, of the belief in, the system that holds it together, that allows it to have a democracy, that freedom and, political opinion and all those things, a lot of things that God uses and has used in the past for good. But guys, beware of division now, because the time we are living in is so crucial, okay? So, guys, let me encourage you, okay? But also a warning here and an update, I believe. Yes, because some of you watching this may say, look, listen, you released a dream that showed that God was saying, listen, pray for Donald Trump. And what I believe was praying that he get back in because of the godly policies that he stands for, i.e. against abortion, against the flood of LGBT wickedness, for Christian values in policy for Israel. All good and godly things, guys, but let's not be deceived, okay? God will have his way. We're to pray for his will, but let's not make an idol out of men. Let's not, whether it's Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or political parties, okay? God's kingdom is not man's kingdom. God will have his way no matter what, and God does not want us to idolize a man. He does not want us to idolize a party or a political opinion. Jesus came that men might know the gospel, might know him, might know grace and love and forgiveness and patience and kindness and self-control, against which the Bible says there is no law. But the works of the flesh are evident: rage, pride, boasting, division, anger, okay, bitterness, malice. The Bible says, rid yourselves of those things. Rid yourselves of those things. Okay, so if you're a Christian right now, I encourage you guys, rid yourselves of those things in your hearts, in your lives, towards your brothers and sisters. Okay, recognize with humility we can all be wrong. Okay, the division going on right now in politics. Okay, it's good to stand for good things, but not at the cost of those things which are wrong and those things which can divide and conquer as much as anything else. So guys, pray for America, pray for our world, pray for each other, pursue peace with all men, reject division as much as you can, seek for compromise, healthy compromise, and pray for our leaders, both Joe Biden, Donald Trump, our own leaders of our own nations, and recognize ultimately that God is our leader. It's him we glorify and look to, him who we need, and him who we need for a solution for our world. Politics won't do it, but God will. Bless you guys. See ya.